Welcome to Parish and Community. I am Angela Pancella, and my guests today are Terry Edelmann, who is on the left hand of the screen, and Julie Kilian, who is on the right. I believe things may change, so raise your hand again, Terry, to say who you are. There you are. Okay, that's Terry, and the other is Julie. How did you both get connected to College Church?
Oh gosh, well, I went to SLU for undergrad, and that's how I got connected to College Church. I fell in love with the wonderful liturgies here and came back a year after I graduated and joined the parish.
How about you, Terry?
I've not been here as long a time, maybe about 12 years, but I lived in the county, and my children went to school, a parochial school there in the county. And I always knew that I was going to wind up at an urban church, but I waited till the kids were through school. And so then I came east, then about 12 years ago, and found the College Church and love it.
And let's start again with Julie. How did you become involved in youth faith formation?
Well, I got involved in youth faith through my own children. They joined the program, and I became a volunteer in the program pretty quickly after we enrolled our oldest. And then when our youngest was 3 or 4, Ann Greedo brought Catechesis of the Good Shepherd here. And a year after that, I was in training for that. So I've stayed long after my children have left because I have fallen in love with it.
Glad you are here. Terry, I understand that you had a kind of circuitous route to youth faith formation. Tell us about that.
That would be true. I had retired from work for the Archdiocese, but was going to church here. And there was a notice in the bulletin from Angie Dorr, who was running the program at the time, that she was looking at someone to do mostly sort of clerical or maybe more managerial types of work with the program, as well as run the Safe Environment program for the parish. I had done that for the diocese, so I thought, well, it sounds good. And so I applied and I got that position. And I knew something about the youth faith program here, not a lot, but I cannot tell you how impressed I am with it and how much which I had been having a religion program like that when I was young, and my children and even my grandchildren have had one. It's an outstanding program.
You guys have a lot of credit to take for that. And I know the families have put in a lot of extra effort, especially this year. But just in general, to those who are unfamiliar with our youth faith program at College Church, how do you tend to describe it to folks on the outside?
Well, it has 2 components. It has the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, which Julie referenced, and she can certainly speak to eloquently. We also have a more traditional religious education program, and this is grades 1 through 8. It's grade-based, so age-based, and we meet for roughly an hour a week, most Sundays during the school year. We have a curriculum through Loyola Press, which is quite good, but we do a lot of hands-on too, because we follow the Ignatian idea of theology of finding God in all things, talking and experiencing God's love for us, sharing God's love to others. And we do service starting in 2nd grade. The children do service here during part of their class day, and in 5th grade they have an out of place service activity once a year.
Got it. And Julie, could you tell me about the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd?
Sure. Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, it's been at College Church for a little over 20 years. It's just a different approach to faith formation in that it's based on Montessori principles. It's not a grade-based program. The children are grouped according to their ages. So at College Church, there are 3 levels, a level for 3 to 6-year-olds, a group of 6 to 9-year-olds, and then a group for 9 to 12-year-olds. And so it's very, all the material is very hands-on, and the children have a lot of things to choose from for their work.
What are some of your favorite moments when you think of your time with youth faith?
I've enjoyed watching the children do service. One of the things the kids do starting in 2nd grade, they each have a sandwich Sunday. And we have an assembly line in one of the rooms here in the building that with bologna, with bread, with wrapping paper, and with cheese. And they make, I heard one child as he was leaving tell his parents that they made 2 million sandwiches. That's not quite right. It's 220, I think, as I recall. But they love it. And the fact that we occasionally have had people from our outreach program come and speak to them briefly, because these stay in the building. These are for our guests. And ideally, this makes them feel much more important, well, not important, but a much greater part of the parish family. They are doing something very tangible and very helpful for our community. And I still remember a little teachable moment when one of the young men, 4th or 5th grade, said, "Who eats this stuff?" And his friend said, "Somebody who doesn't have anything else to eat." And I thought, that's right. That's right. Bologna sandwiches can look really good in the right context. But it was an eye opener. But it's a really small part of the program, but it is just something they would not do otherwise, and something that just gives us an opportunity to include them in the work of the parish, which we really like.
Sure. How about you, Julie?
Oh gosh, this past year, I would say my favorite moments are the times when we could actually get together in person. This year, it was most particularly our children who are in sacramental preparation years. So we were able this year to get together in person, socially distanced, sometimes outdoors, with our 2nd and our 8th graders. And I think it just made me appreciate that interaction that we have with the kids in a whole new way.
Sure. Yeah. So tell me more about the challenges of this past year and what helped you get through them.
I think what helped us get through them was this wonderful community that we're a part
Yes.
of. You know, people were so graceful and generous. So many times we asked them to change their plans, change the date of a sacrament, change everything, and people were super generous. And when we did celebrate those sacraments, everybody I asked to do something said yes, which is, tremendous. Says a lot about this place.
For you,
I
Terry?
think it was fun to watch everybody reach inside themselves and found that they could do all sorts of things that they might not have even thought they could do. I mean, we had some on the RE side of the program. A lot of our catechists are students, mostly as parents, and they're all volunteers, and St. Louis University students. And some of these students had never taught RE before, weren't even sure that they could do it. And now he said, guess what? You're going to have to do it without any live children in the room. And they jumped on it. There was one class in particular we had a few concerns about because they were brand new catechists. And when we would do surveys, assess the parents, and sort of do a little check and see how things were going, parents just raved and raved about them, their enthusiasm, and this is Sunday morning for a college student. Can you imagine? But just the spirit and this whole sense of we've got to get through this together. We're all in this together. And I think that's what made it work.
And what are you looking forward to now that we're coming into the next year?
I'm sorry, what?
What are you looking forward to?
Being in person. Seeing these faces, hearing their funny little things to say, maybe even giving them a safe hug or a head pat or a pat on the back, or, just those things that we never thought twice about in the past.
Sure. For you, Julie?
Oh, the same. Being in person again, I can't wait to be able to see all of our catechists, to see all the kids, to see all the families, and all those conversations that just happen on the fly. We get to have all those again. So really looking forward to that.
Well, we're very much looking forward to having the kids around and the families around. So I'm going to direct folks to the website to let them know that the Youth Faith Formation website has all of the registration information for both Catechesis of the Good Shepherd and the regular religious education. So thank you again to you both for taking some time to talk today.
Thank you, Angela.
Yes, it was our pleasure.